What did the film look like on the last game?
Pardon me?
The film on the last game?
The first half, you know, we were up 46-13, so the film looked pretty good for the most part. But obviously we're playing a much different caliber team here Thursday night. That the second half of the game got a little more sloppy, but we're always striving for perfection, knowing that we're never going to attain it, but that's what you're trying to do. So there's plenty of mistakes, and we actually watched the first half as a team yesterday prior to going into practice.
That's something that usually do.
Just depends on the time allotted. It's hard, you know, we're going into finals this next week. It's not like we have a lot of time, extra time to spend watching film with our guys with the rigors of their studies.
It's a good approach to defending Damian James.
You know, it's not just Damian James, it's Texas. I mean, first of all, what Texas has really changed from a year ago is they're a much more defensive team in terms of getting out, pressuring, denying leads, switching everything, doubling ball screens, doubling the post. Their defense is way different than it has been in the past, and I think it's made them really difficult now to try to score on because they're so athletic, they're so long. So that's going to be the number one thing, is just being able to handle their pressure and you know, take care of the basketball. I mean, they really are strong, athletic, deep, and very athletic. And they have all experienced players. I mean, they're not playing anybody who's new, essentially, in their top 8 or 9 guys. Everybody's back. They're a team that it would not surprise me at all if they're playing in Detroit come April, and that's how good I think they are. In terms of Damian James, he's a very difficult matchup because he's playing 3-spot, and you know, he's 6'7". He had 19 here last year. He's a very difficult matchup for Josh, who will start on him because of the size factor. And he's a great offensive rebounder. So, you know, when the shot goes up, he's a beast on the boards. They're a very good rebounding team. Very physical.
In terms of defensively, when you said they're athletic and long, what did that do for their defense when they moved James from the 4 to the 3 this season?
That didn't change their defense. What they did is, you know, last year they were playing a lot of zone. They haven't played any zone. And they're getting out and pressuring and denying everything. They're extending the floor with their quickness and their size. It's a completely different style of defense than what they've played there the last few years. And very difficult to play against, and just watching, you know, the opponents that they've had thus far.
Does their defensive style compare to any other teams that you came across, the one that they're playing now?
That we've played this
year?
year?
In the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, they're doing a lot of things that we've done in terms of doubling ball screens, doubling the post, with real good quickness. They're hard to deal with, that's for sure, just watching them. You know, Notre Dame's one team that's beat them, and that was a 1-point game. And Notre Dame has such good shooters. That's what was really different for them. They made a ton of 3-point shots. Everybody on their team can shoot threes.
Ben, you like this game? You like this Big 12?
I would rather be in Plaudville filling in
Wow.
for every game the entire year. So,
With that said,
I mean, you know, we just do what we're told. I like to play all home games, right?
Did you talk to the Pac-10 about trying to
Implementing that?
Yeah.
Would be good. I would enjoy that if they could see if we could play all our games at home. It'd be nice.
I missed the Dallas, but other than that.
Pullman.
What do you, after playing in the Coaches vs. Cancer, you get to play against a couple teams in New York, you come home and play Florida International, now you go back up in competition, it would seem. Would you like more time before that step up again to multiple teams? You're kind of curious to see how they responded.
You know, we're going to have to play against really good teams this year in the Pac-10. That's what we're getting ready for. And, Texas is, one of the, and like I said, they have a chance to be one of the top 5 teams in the country, without a doubt. They're that talented, and they have experience, and they have depth. They have so many big guys coming off the bench, it's hard to keep track of them all, with size and with skill and with athletic ability. And that being said, it's going to be a very, very difficult game, going into a tough home court. And that's going to be something that our freshmen, they're going to have to see before we head to Corvallis and Eugene for the first 2 conference games, and then come back and play SC. Obviously, for a young team, it's kind of set up to where we have a tough road to haul at the beginning of the conference. So I think we have 5 of our first 7 games are on the road. So this will be an experience not unlike those in terms of the crowd and what it's like to play in an environment that's.
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
You took Pitt there? Or?
No, I was an assistant coach when I was at University of Texas. Long time ago.
Who more than likely gets the assignment of defending Dexter Pittman?
Our center. Yeah, Alfred. Pittman's not like, Pittman played 8 minutes against Rice. I think it's just varying how much he's playing right now based on who they're matched up against. Who they really are playing a lot is Gary Johnson. He's playing 24 minutes a game. He's their 2nd leading rebounder, 3rd leading scorer, 6'6", 233. Very difficult matchup. He's strong and athletic and tough. All those big guys are hard to defend. They come in with Chapman, who's 6'10", 6'11". He's good. They have Hill. They have the Cameroonian kid. They've got a lot of guys.
Is this the kind of team that, like if you were coaching, you would be proud of them? They're a good defensive team. They're big and strong.
They're really good. This team, like I said, they could be right there at the end of the year. I'll be, curious to see, but I would beg to guess that they're going to be right there at the end. They'll win the Big 12, in my opinion. I think the only team in that league that's going to have a chance to beat them would be Oklahoma. I can't remember how it works, if they play each other twice, or what side they're on. I don't even remember.
Yeah, twice.
You talked about the hostile environment. Is there anything you can do to try to help the freshmen prepare for that? Or is it?
No, it's all about experience. And they've played in, loud high school situations. This is different. This is against a top 5 or 6 team, in my opinion, on the road, on their home floor, where they're going to want to come out and really try to, hand it to us. So, that's part of having had success the last few years, and being UCLA, everybody wants to beat us.
Can you talk about those 5 freshmen as a group and what you've seen out of them over the first few games?
Just that they're all gaining experience, they're all improving, and that's the main thing, is you have to constantly be improving. That's what we're trying to get our players, all of them, to do, not just our freshmen, but all of them to work hard to improve, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, with each and every outing that we take, and the experience that they're gaining is helping them. Now, for example, this is going to be new. We're talking about like Drew Holiday, Malcolm, these kids having to trail shooters and be right on a guy. Now, the Abrams guy is unbelievable to try to defend. Russell Westbrook did as good a job on him as anybody in the country last year. And Russell, was a sophomore and experienced defender. He gained so much separation with his speed, and then boom, he's up on a dime shooting. He's shooting 42% from 3 and has 26-foot range on a shot. He is a very difficult matchup. If you watch the film on him, he's going to be a nightmare. And it will be, a experience. Because as soon as you break down and lose your discipline and try to go ball side of the screen, or you don't trail him, it's over. He's scoring. So he's going to be hard.
Does their personnel make it likely that more Jameson could play some minutes in this game, or is this kind of a tough matchup game for him?
Well, you know, if he matches up with Pittman's one guy he can match up with in this game well. And even, you know, maybe one of their other 7-footers. What they do a good job of is they really set a lot of ball screens. So if you're slow to a hedge, for example, and they hurt us there last year, like if you remember, we played this game, I think, pretty early in the season last year as well, and Kevin was really signaled out, like they were doing all sorts of things to try to take advantage of Kevin's youth and inexperience. For example, Kevin was matched up on Ashley, and they were running Ashley off all these screens on the perimeter, you know, double baseline screen, and getting Kevin to try to trail him, and all of a sudden he sprint to a ball screen, and he was just late every time. And so they did a good job last year at taking advantage of that.
When you're talking about trailing your shoes and all, I think it was Jeremy was talking one day here that in learning to do stuff, to defend stuff like that, he can't believe how tired he gets, you know, just a couple trips up and down the court. Is that something that they need to experience before they can figure out how to fight through the being winded and everything?
What do you need to experience?
Playing Texas and having to fight, you know, trail shooters and be running crazy days.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be...
Is there any way you can teach them that in practice? I mean, I know you do, like...
Well, what we can't do is, other than Darren, we can't simulate Abrams. You know, Darren's the one guy that can actually probably simulate him in terms of his speed and quickness. That's about the kind of quickness and speed. And this guy is like a pogo stick. He stops and goes up on a dime. And he's a very, very good player. You know, he's a senior. Their other starting guard is Mason's a junior. They have experienced guys that are very good players. You know, we fell behind in this game last year because we didn't attack their zone well. We made a comeback, took a 4-point lead. Augustine really played great in this game a year ago. He hit a big shot and cut it to 1. I think it was tied and Luke missed a front end of a 1-on-1 about 24 seconds ago, and then they shot the air ball and put it back in to win.
Did you have Darren for this game? Was it his first
It was
game
his
back?
second game back. Yeah, and he wasn't, you know, back to full strength.
Have they played much zone this year?
None.
None.
No, they've gone, that's what I'm saying, it's a different look, what they're doing now. They've gone away from it and really changed their defensive philosophy. This is a team that's taking advantage of their athletic ability and their quickness, and they're switching all screens. And, you know, they have, for example, Gary Johnson in the game instead of Pittman. They're going to switch 1 through 5. They're going to double all ball screens aggressively. They're going to double the post. I mean, they're a very aggressive defensive team as opposed to standing in the 2-3 zone.
So is that why you think they got out of the zone to take advantage of their increased athleticism?
Well, I don't know why. I think, though, that it's really benefiting them. That's for sure. Just watching them play, I think this is a much more difficult team to try to score against because they are so athletic and long and deep.
Will this show you how much growth you guys have made since Michigan, or is that just...
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was, what, 3 games ago or 2 games ago?
A lot of practice time.
This will show us where we are compared to one of the best teams in the country on their home floor.
Have you talked to the team about the 43% in field goal percentage defense?
It was 45 before, I mean,
Yeah, it's down to 43.
not really.
Because I know that's a, that's a big issue.
We're trying to get, our ideal number is to have our opponents shoot 40% or less, and that's when you're playing really good defense.
Ben, the players last week had talked about how you're going to run a lot more motion this year. And I didn't get a chance to ask you about it, but is that true that you're going to run a lot more motion?
Well, we'll see as we get better at it. Like the other day, we tried to do it a few times, and it was just got back to everybody just dribbling it. So this is going to be a great example of if you don't have good spacing against Texas and you bounce the ball right away against pressure. What pressure defense wants you to do is to dribble right away. That makes it easiest to defend you, and they're able to swarm at you. So if we dribble right away and don't have good spacing, we could be in for a lot of turnovers in the long evening. We're gonna have to be strong with the ball, turn the face, and, handle the pressure.
Any other questions?
Do you see yourself having the patience for them to learn how to run motion better, or is it?
Well, we're gonna have to be able to do it better. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that, we don't have a dominant inside scorer that we can go to. We've got to, find ways to space the floor and open things up a little bit for our guards. We're still running sets.
No, I understand that, but from talking to the players, they made it seem like you were going to run a hell of a lot of motion.
Oh.
To be determined in your mind?
Yeah, I think we'll still run a lot of set plays and we will run some motion. So we're not just going to be a motion team, if that's what I think you're trying to ask. No.
Sort of.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Injury-wise, everybody's good?
Mustafa Abdul-Hamid has actually hurt his wrist early in the practices, and he's getting an MRI right now. It's just continued to bother him, and he we'll find out more today, but it doesn't sound like it's a good thing. Jeremy Anderson didn't practice yesterday because he had food poisoning. Something he ate at lunch made him ill. He said something about some chicken nuggets and some curly fries or something. So it might have something to do with it.
That's food outside of the training tape?
Yeah, we just eat dinner for the training too. I won't tell you where he got the food, so don't print it, but I said, yeah, maybe that would make you sick, I can understand. But yeah, everybody else seems to be okay.